We're going to continue to watch this as we bring into the conversation ICE Deputy Director Madison Sheehan. Madison, let me just get your take on the images we're seeing on the screen right now. What do you say to all of this?
Well, look, I think it's unacceptable that people are out treating law enforcement this way, treating the National Guard this way. You know, these men and women protect the United States of America every single day, and they're just not being treated with the respect that they deserve for putting their lives on the line to protect the American people from the open border policies that the Biden administration had for so long, forcing the men and women of ICE to go into these communities, get the worst of the worst out of the community. And it's just completely disrespectful what you're seeing done to these men and women.
When we talk about the worst of the worst, Secretary Homan has released a list of some of the people who have been captured in this operation in Los Angeles. Can you, I think you're familiar with some of the names and some of the charges that these people are facing. Can you tell us about them?
Absolutely. President Trump and Secretary Noem have set a mission for ICE to get the worst of the worst out of these communities, whether it's child rapists, human traffickers, murderers, the type of people you do not want in your community. And we have been working in LA and the surrounding areas to get these people out of the community, to keep the American people safe. President Trump had a mandate from the American people to deliver on this promise, to secure the border and allow enforcement to happen in the interior. And that's what the men and women of ICE have put their lives on the line to do every single day. And they're being attacked by the public for these actions. And it's just unacceptable what we're seeing here.
I'm going to read some of the names of people who've been arrested this week. Quang Chon Phan, a 49-year-old illegal alien from Vietnam, whose record includes a conviction for second-degree murder. He'd been sentenced to 15 years to life. Rolando Veneracion Enriquez, who has a criminal history of burglary and sexual assault and assault with intent to commit rape. These are the kinds of people who have been arrested, and yet there are folks in the street there trying to suggest, I guess, that ICE should not be detaining them. It's bonkers.
It is. It's absolutely crazy. This is the narrative that the Democrats continue to push, that the men and women of ICE are not protecting the American people, and that's just completely false. They are out working to get the worst of the worst out of these communities, so that way they do not continue to go into American communities and wreak havoc on the American people. We are working every single day to stop this invasion from happening, stop the rhetoric that has continued to put officers in harm's way. Look, just as Mr. Homan said, just as Secretary Noem has said, you have a right to protest in this country. You have a right to voice your First Amendment rights. But what you do not have a right to do is to harm law enforcement and harm other people in the way of that. And that's what we're seeing right now.
How do you feel about the level of support that you have received from the mayor of Los Angeles and the governor of California?
Well, look, they just haven't shown up for the American people and, quite frankly, for their own constituents. And it's time for the Democratic Party to start showing up for the American people, the people that they represent. There was a mandate delivered to President Trump in this election to be able to deliver this for the American people, secure the border, enforce laws in the interior. And that's what we're doing at ICE every single day. That is what Secretary Noem has committed to the American people. And with the leadership of President Trump and his full support, the men and women of ICE know that they can go out into the community and keep the American people safe.
Well, speaking of safety, what about your officers, your agents? I mean, they are facing some real violence there in Los Angeles.
They're facing violence in Los Angeles and all over the country. We've seen over a 400% increase of violence against ICE officers, against the men and women of ICE who put their lives on the line to protect the communities. They're going after their families, their friends, they're doxing them. They're doing everything they can to put our law enforcement officers in harm's way. And our officers continue to step forward, meet the line of duty, and be able to do the mission that the American people have sent them on.
We appreciate them for it, and we appreciate you for coming on today. Madison Sheehan is the Deputy Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.